welcome to my channel if you're new, welcome back if you're a seasoned subscriber. Today we are going to do a Q&A get to know me. Grab a drink, grab a snack. Okay, I'm going to start off with questions that were sent to me on Instagram. Okay, what was your dream job as a kid? So growing up, I was one of those kids that was like, I want to be a pop star. I was obsessed with Britney Spears. I was a member of the official Britney Spears fan club. Thank you so much. So that is what I wanted to be. And then when I was like a teenager, I wanted to be like a psychiatrist. Then I realized that I would have to go to medical school, and then I was like, maybe not. What's an American city you want to visit after all this is over? So I did have a trip planned to go to New York in May, so I would love to reschedule that. So as soon as all this is over and we're able to fly, my first place will probably be New York. But if it's like Christmas time or December when we're like allowed to travel, then like maybe I just want to go to Vegas and get lit and like have a incredible time just being opulent in Vegas, you know? So maybe Vegas. Favorite dessert? Okay, if there's a panna cotta on the menu, I'm going straight for it. I like creamy. I like a little bit of fruit, but I'm never going for the fruit platter, you know? Favorite thing to watch on Netflix? Oh my gosh. I mean, I would be here for 20 minutes talking about everything I watch and all of the TV shows. At the moment, the last thing on Netflix that I absolutely loved watching was Cliché Tiger King. I'm sorry. That whole thing was like every episode something crazy was happening and I was like... Okay, when did I first start getting into high-end fashion? Like always. So my mum, as we know and love her on this channel, is something else. She's super into luxury fashion and all of that. So growing up, I just knew about it because there were magazines around and my mum's clothes and blah, blah, blah. So I've always been into it, to be honest. And then as I got older, it got worse, basically. What is my zodiac sign? I am a Pisces. Allegedly very creative, super sensitive. Favorite brand? You should know this, people. Versace. First designer piece you ever got from a young age that you still cherish. One thing that comes to mind is when I was 15, I think I got this. Alexander McQueen, I was very into McQueen at that time. That was like the skull scarf days. I thought I was it. Now, they did have this like 4-finger ring, which was a knuckle duster basically, and a weapon, but it had like a skull on it and a gem and blah blah blah. I'll see if I can find it and insert a photo. And I thought I was mother effing it. So that would have to be it. I think now the skull maybe only has one eye, but that is something that I still look at and I'm like, damn. Actually, funnily enough, I was at like, you know those security checkpoints in airports? I was in one of those and they tried to take it off me because they thought it was a weapon. And I have never pleaded so much in my life. I must have come across as like completely crazy because I was like 16, 17 and I was like, but you don't understand. This is not a weapon. This is McQueen. So, yes, probably that. How has your style grown from a teenager to now? Wow, we've really grown. We have glowed up, let me tell you. As a teenager, I was banging Ed Hardy. Anything Ed Hardy, I was there for it. I was obsessed with tattoos. I was obsessed with Ed Hardy. When we would go to New York, first thing on my list to spend my pocket money was sodding Ed Hardy, let me tell you. The jeans, the shoes, the tops. A t-shirt that had like a mesh arm thing that made it look like you had tattoo sleeves. Yes, I bought it and I wore it. So it was Ed Hardy from top to toe. So yes, things have changed and arguably improved. What was your experience like living in Nigeria? Was it your childhood? Okay, so let me give you a little bit of background. I am half English, quarter Russian, quarter Ghanaian. My mum is the quarter Ghanaian, quarter Russian bit. My dad is very clearly the English bit. But I grew up in Nigeria. My dad works between Nigeria and here. My parents met in Nigeria and got together. So, growing up, I was in Nigeria until the age of like 7, but then every single year after that, until I was about 17, I would go back for the summer. And I have such fond memories growing up there. I loved it. It was so perfect being a child. We actually lived, if anyone here is familiar with Nigeria or is Nigerian, shout out. I lived in Zaria, which is in the north, and there was like an expat community there, and everyone's kids would play with everyone's kids, and like I would just be like running around barefoot, touching animals and, you know, touching things and getting dirty and whatever, and then like the poor gardeners would just be like watching me, making sure like I didn't hurt myself, and just being like, what is this tiny mixed child doing running around? But it was great. I am very, very grateful for being able to grow up there. What books have you read lately? What do you want to read? Okay, books. I love books. I got a Kindle a couple of months ago, and I really do enjoy reading. I listen to the Redheads podcast, which is like a book club basically, and I read whatever they kind of assign for the next book. So I do that, and I would highly recommend, shout out. But I really enjoyed Verity. That was a great book. Nothing to See Here, weird book. Really liked it though. I also, if you want something completely mindless but hilarious, White Girl Problems and the sequel Psychos by Babe Walker, magnificent. How are the press-on nails holding up? Let me tell you, we've already had 2 pop off, but I just glue them back on. This is my new life. This is my life now, is gluing on press-on nails. So, you know, don't look too closely. Harrods, Harvey Nichols, or Selfridges? Oh, and Liberty. Pick one. Probably Harrods. Harrods, the entire experience is excellent, you know? Selfridges is very good because they have a very wide range. You get more non-luxury and like high street brands there, but Harrods is just upper echelon gloriousness, an experience to shop in. So I would have to probably pick Harrods. I never go to Liberty because I feel like it feels like the inside of someone's house, and you have to like shuffle to get past everything. Nothing is big enough, so no. What's my favourite place to travel to? Easiest question ever. Hawaii. Beautiful, incredible, best holiday ever, my favourite place in the world. Cannot recommend it enough. I absolutely love it. Specifically the island of Oahu, Honolulu. It's everything to me, and I absolutely love it there. What is the love this question. What is the song that makes you act up no matter where you are? Act Up, City Girls. It's my ringtone, I won't lie to you. It's my ringtone without the lyrics, because let me tell you, Act Up, City Girls, I'm a whole different person. Drop it to the mother effing floor. Ooh, and Low, Yin Yang Twins, To the Window to Get Low. That is my favourite song of all time, possibly. It's definitely my favourite song of all time. What have been your past hairstyles? I basically haven't had any other hairstyle apart from this a bit shorter to like here when I was 11, and this but very blonde. It wasn't a good look for me. I thought it was everything at the time. Now looking at it, it's like, what made me want to start a YouTube channel? Okay, so before the YouTube channel, I did have a blog. I've deleted it from the internet because I'm extremely embarrassed by it and I hate it. And then when Nia and I got together, he was like, you know, you write how you talk, which is great if you know you, but if you don't know you, like maybe it's hard to read or whatever. So he was like, maybe you should try and do videos. So I like did like a YouTube video once in a while, whatever. And then I like actually really figured out that I really, really liked it. And then I sort of decided, you know what, let me like take this seriously. So that's when I decided to consistently upload and blah, 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 and here we are. And I absolutely love filming videos, and I get excited to sit down and talk to you guys. And when I get something new, I'm like, I can't wait to sodding show it to you. You're like, oh, I need everyone to, I need us to experience this together, you know? So I'm here. What's your pet peeve? Okay, my biggest one is that I do not like rude people. Okay, this is one that I feel like I've inherited. My mum's biggest pet peeve is people who cannot hold their cutlery correctly. And I've now inherited it. Where did you meet your boyfriend? Okay, so I had a few of these questions. Here's the 101 on Nia and I. So, Nia and I met During the second year of university, there was an internship scheme. We were both on it. We met each other, but I would never say that we were like friends. You know, we were Facebook friends. I didn't know anything about the guy. Years passed. I bumped into him randomly and he was like, oh, me and my cousins like do a podcast. You should come on and talk about fashion. So I was like, cool, great. The podcast no longer exists. Anyway, and so I went on the podcast, had a great time. And at the time I was like, he's kind of attractive and I quite like the sound of his voice. But, you know, I kind of, you know, was just like, quite like him. And apparently at that point, he had already friend-zoned me, which I was unaware of, and I don't quite know what I'd done to be put in that position. Anyway, then I went on a date that I did not think was a date, and the guy thought was a date, with a guy who ended up being a drug dealer and a prolific drug user, and it was awful. And I went to the toilet and I was like, Nee, this is the situation I'm in, how do I get out of it? And he was like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. And he was like, look, me and my friends are going out tonight, come out with us, it'll turn your night around. So, ended up going on a night out with Nee and his friends, ended up kissing him, and I am not usually the girl that, you know, like kisses in the club, but apparently I was that night. Kissed him, and then the next day he texted me and was like, look, I'm interested in seeing where this is going, if you're interested in seeing where this is going. And I was like, yes. Then 2 weeks later he was like, do you want to be my girlfriend? And here we are. And we have now been together for 3 years. What advice would you give to your younger self? Stop worrying. I was such a worrier. Anything, I'd be crying. I'd be crying out on the phone to my dad. Dad, mum's gonna kill me. I got a C in a history exam, you know, right? And I would just be worried because I was like, oh my gosh, if I don't pass this test, then that's it. And I'm gonna be homeless. Like, everything was just like the end of the world. So mine would just be stop sodding worrying and stop worrying about things that haven't happened, because they probably won't happen. Okay. What's the next luxury item you want to buy? One of you guys DM'd me on Instagram and was like, this is so you. And I fell in love with it. It is the Louis Vuitton phone box. Funny how it's like super rare and you can't get it except for like on resale where it's double the price, and I resent that. So I've asked 3 personal shoppers to try and find this for me. It's becoming increasingly difficult, which only makes me want it even more. Favourite musical artist? Lil Wayne, hands down. That man has my heart. Comfort food. I love me a mac and cheese. I love me a McDonald's. I love me, like, takeout pizza, but it has to be the one that's, like, authentic Italian, not like a Domino's. Just, like, anything. Oh, I love chips. Chips/fries. A little bit of mayo, dip, just salt. This is an interesting question. So starting a handbag collection, how do you pace yourself / decide what's next? I completely am led by my heart, but I don't go crazy about it. You guys see everything I buy, you know, like I'm not like buying a bag every week or whatever. It has to be, I won't like look at something and say, oh, I don't have a classic flap, I should probably add that to my collection, right? Because my heart's not, it's not making my heart do flips, you know? But I will see something, and I'm not going to force myself. So it's only if I see something that I'm like, okay, I'm having sleepless nights. Like the Louis Vuitton phone box. I've never seen a more, that is so me. Oh, I can't wait to like wear that. It's like a belt bag, but not. It's like a weird love at first sight thing. It's like, okay, I can't get it out of my mind. I need it. I have nothing like it. Also the price. Like if that phone box was like $5,000, no. But it's one. And I'm like, actually, I don't think that's too bad for that. Do you want or have pets? If so, what? I don't have any pets now. I want a dog so badly, and you know me, let's be honest, that dog is probably going to be a micro poodle, like a tiny dog. Eventually in life, I would love to have a tiny dog and like a beast of a dog, like a Doberman, and they just have this like very cute bromance happening. But I do really, really want a dog. It's just that we just do not have the space for one right now, and also we're not allowed one due to our lease, whatever. Previously, I've had loads of pets when I was growing up in Nigeria. I'm just going to run you through some of them. Rabbit. Had about 4 dogs, 2 tortoises, a donkey, a horse, a parrot. I had 2 fish while in the UK. I also had a triop. If you don't know what a triop is, it's like a weird kind of sea monkey who actually died a very untimely and horrible death, but we won't go into that. Which brand has the best in-store customer experience? Chanel's got a bad reputation. Do you agree? Yeah, Chanel, specifically the Bond Street store, has the worst. They are the type of staff that will like look you up and down and all of that, which I do not have any time for. Dior, time and time again, Dior and Fendi, time and time again, have had the nicest staff. You walk in, you could be looking like nothing. Oh, wonderful smile, how may I help you? Thank you so much. That's what we're after. Okay, when coming to New York, what is your fave restaurant? Damn. You gotta have a restaurant for different things, right? Steak-wise, went to the Grill. Disgustingly glorious, okay? Absolutely beautiful. Pizza, Joe's Pizza. It's like cheap and greasy and I love it. I love me a seafood boil, hot and juicy. What was my first luxury item? You know my mother. Out the womb, I was, you know, there was luxury happening. So my mum got me a pair of, that she still has to this day, a pair of ballet shoes. Very cute, love her. Do you speak any other languages? How do you learn? I don't speak any other languages. I did French for 7 years in school and I can like understand a bit and get by in Paris and whatever. But aside from that, I am the worst. Also, I speak French with a Yorkshire accent, so bonjour, je m'appelle Cassie. You know, it's not authentic. If you choose to have children, at what age would you allow / buy, at what age would you buy / allow them to use luxury items? Look, I know it's ridiculous, but 100%, especially for my first child, because like I'm gonna be like so excited and whatever. We are baby Dior bottle. Get me like, oh, I want like a Versace baby stroller, that Fendi baby stroller, glorious. Okay, like, yeah, I'm actually gonna be ridiculous and it's gonna be a problem, and Nee is probably gonna be like, what are you? You're just a ridiculous human, and I'd be like, you knew that going into this. But anyway, do you have any tattoos? I feel like you don't, but if you were to get one, what would it be? I love tattoos, and I went through a phase when I was like 15 and 16, convinced about the fact that I was going to get tattoos. Thank God I didn't get any of those that I wanted to at the time, because I would have a panther head here, that is an Ed Hardy logo. I would have a Latin phrase across my back. I am one of those people that like changes their mind all the time, so it's not for me. I can't commit to that. I absolutely love them though, and I love them on other people. Somebody said here, tips for how to save for luxury pieces alongside rent bills, etc. Luxury comes last, and always should, okay? Everyone has different responsibilities, whatever. I am very much like, okay, here is the money coming in, salary, whatever, and then rent, bills go first. Then I have like, okay, this is my like living amount for like food, shopping, little makeup bits that I might want through the month, transport, whatever, and then the rest I put to one side, and that goes into savings. And then when I see something I like, I dip out of the savings pot and I buy it, whether or not I should or something else. If you could only keep one bag in your collection now, which one would it be? Only one. The blue Chanel Cruise. She is just an absolute unicorn in my collection and is the most me bag ever. Celebrity crush. At the moment, who do I love? Do you want to know what? Jake Gyllenhaal has always been on my list and always will. Super underrated. Love that man. Robert Downey Jr. used to be on that list. I'm not gonna lie, I would go for the age gap. A recent one that like I'm a little bit like, oh, wish we were a little bit older, and you know, obviously I'm in a relationship, whatever, is Timothée Chalamet. I never thought I would be one of those girls, but apparently I'm one of those girls. Also, I'm not gonna lie to you, 50 Cent. What subjects did you take at school for like A-level, college, or even university? Okay, so for my A-levels, for my AS, I did maths, economics, history, French. Then I dropped the French from A-levels and I just did maths, economics, history. And then at university, I studied economics, so I have an economics degree. Though you would never know it. Okay, questions from YouTube. Do you only wear designer clothes? No, okay? Fiorucci, would we call it a luxury brand? Probably not. All over the place really. The White Company, I like them for like basics. And Other Stories, I like them. Uniqlo for basics, hello. I think Uniqlo is very underrated. Great quality, great basics. How many kids do you want to have in the future? I'm pushing a maximum of 2 out of me. I would love to adopt a third, like when those 2 are a little older, so I can like spread out the ages a bit. Maximum 3 children, because I am not compromising on my car choices. Thank you very much. What do I do for fun? How am I keeping myself entertained? TikTok, I could scroll for hours. TV shows, between Amazon Prime and Netflix. I love all of that business. What else? I've been doing cooking a little bit. Look, I'm no like chef, I'm not like amazing, but you know, I like trying out new stuff, perfecting, you know, recipes and stuff like that. So I've been doing that. Okay, so this one is, okay, it's a long question, but I'ma just like sum it up for you. What do you do when like people around you aren't into luxury and then they like ask you how much something is in order to like, there's almost like a level of like shaming behind it? What do I personally do in those situations? If I know that I'm talking to somebody that's into luxury, we're into the same things, we know how much stuff costs, and if that person says, oh my gosh, I love your Fendi baguette, how much was that for the medium size? Then I'll tell you, right? Because I know that we both have this same level of knowledge and respect for what for the thing that we're talking about, right? But if it's someone doing it out of intent to shame you or whatever, then I always resort to, I don't know, it was a gift or I can't remember. And that usually shuts down the conversation. Are you planning to get married? And if so, who would design your gown? 100% gonna get married to me, like we know it's happening, it's a thing. I would most likely have my gown designed by Walter Collection. Basically, he's an amazing designer based in LA, and I have had a few dresses made from him previously, and he's lovely and incredible. And he has a bridal line, so I know that if I worked with him, I would get exactly what I want. Okay, I'm gonna end with this one, which is describe your personal style in 3 words. And I'm actually going to see if Nee will do this. But Nee, describe my personal style in 3 words, please.
Peacock, luxury, unique.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in your comments below if anything surprised you or whatever, or if we have any similarities. I'm going to link to another video here. Have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I'll see you on my next video. Mwah. Bye, guys.